Hello everybody, I'm very glad that you're watching this video and I'd like to welcome you to look at another very interesting tutorial where I'm showing you how to integrate a person shot on green screen into your Adobe After Effects composition using Projection 3D. Okay, so let's take a look at what we're aiming at here. We'd like to thank the Hollywood Camera Work for the green screen footage that we're using. You can actually download it for free from their official website at hollywoodcamerawork.com. The footage is called Garden Walk HD Plate. Okay, well, let's begin. First things first, create a new composition, give it a name. We're gonna call it Room. Then increase shadow map resolution for better quality and press OK. Import the image called Room with the ocean view. Drag the image to the composition window and scale it out to comp size. Then press Find Camera and adjust it. You can also scale the helper grid a little bit. Also maybe change the focal length. Okay, so reduce the grid along the y-axis. And mark the top so that you could actually see the top side of the grid. Okay, great. Now we're gonna go ahead and select the camera and image and press Create Projection. Press Pre-Compose and set the number of copies to 6. Double-click on Projection Scene 6. Use the function called Create Solid using Helper Grid properties to create the floor, walls, and ceiling. Okay, cool. Now we have a 3D room. Now let's integrate our model, our very lovely young girl right here. Create a new composition. Let's call it Girl Walk and press OK. Now import the footage with the girl. Fit it to comp size. Okay, all good. Now we need to track the camera. But first, let's create a mask to hide our girl. Now animate the mask. Okay, we're done with that. Now change the mask mode to subtract. Okay, well, we hit our girl, but we must make sure that 3D camera tracker does not recognize the mask, because otherwise the program won't be able to understand that we hit the girl. So to do that, drag the girl walk comp to the new composition. Go to Effect, Perspective, and choose 3D Camera Tracker. Great, now we have a tracking information. Now select the point clouds on the ground. Right-click and choose Set Ground Plane and Origin. Press Create Camera. Copy the created camera into the composition projection scene 6. Now we need to move the camera to where the projector camera is. But as you know, it's animated, and in order not to spoil the keys, we're gonna have to move it with the help of the null object, okay? Right, so create a null object and make it 3D. Copy the position of the camera and paste it on the null object. Drag the pick whip from the camera to a null object to designate it as the parent layer. Now copy the position of the projector camera and paste it on the null object. Great, we're almost done here. Now we need to copy the composition girl walk into the composition projection scene 6. Change the mask mode to Add. Apply the key light effect. Now in this lesson I won't show you how I did the keying, so you're gonna have to do it yourself, okay? Right, so now we need to adjust the position of the camera. Now obviously you can do that with the help of the null object. Let's make a pre-render. Oops, looks like the camera doesn't want to move correctly. We must switch to the top view to fix that. Now you can remove the ceiling because you can't actually see it in the scene, so no problem there. As you can see, the scale of camera movement is too large according to the room, so we must scale it down. Like this. See? That's already better. Okay, so to see it better, you can show the hidden layers and place the helper grid under the girl walk layer. And maybe just reduce it a little more. Okay, perfect. Everything works properly now. Okay, now move the helper grid back where it belongs. Remove the standard camera and put the 3D tracker camera and null object there. Copy them and paste into the composition projection scene 5, removing the old camera. Now do the same with each composition. You can also delete the anim camera. We don't need that one anymore. Now close all the other comps and arrange the layers. Switch to projector camera. We now need to do a bit of modeling for the sofa, the table, those chairs, and other objects. But first let's generate their positions. So let's start with the sofa. Create a null object. Do the same with the other objects in the room. Great, positions are created, now we can start modeling the table. First of all, you gotta create a cube. We need to put the cube anchor point on the generated position. Now copy the position of the null object, Ctrl-C, and paste it on the cube. Ctrl V. Okay, now adjust the scale of the cube. Disable the helper grid so that you could see it better. Also rotate it a little bit. Now name your cube. We're gonna call it table bottom. Duplicate table bottom and call it table. Drag it up and adjust the scale. Alright, the table is ready. You can delete the null object now. You don't need it anymore. Now let's switch our attention back to the sofa. Create a new cube and adjust the anchor point. Pressing Shift on the keyboard and dragging the pick whip from the cube on the null object allows you to move the cube quicker. Cool. Now remove the null object and rename the cube to sofa. Adjust the scale. Duplicate sofa and move the anchor point to the bottom left corner. Scale the sofa 2 along the x-axis. You can change the label color so that you could see it better. Okay, now duplicate sofa 2. Move the anchor point to the upper left corner, copy the anchor point position, return the anchor point to the left bottom corner and paste the copied position to the object. Alright, reduce the scale. Select all pieces of the sofa and group them into one composition. Activate the 3D tab and enable collapse transformations. Now let's create an elevated floor. Generate a position and create a cube. Move the anchor point to the right bottom corner and drag the cube onto the null object. Rename it to floor. Adjust the scale. Great, it's done. Duplicate the floor and repeat the actions that you see on the screen. Switch to Custom View 1 to see the result. Move the bottom layer and place it on the top of the sofa layer. Very good. Now let's make a couch. As we already did it before, create a new cube and move it to where the couch is, by copying the position of the null object and pasting it on the cube. Delete the null object and resize the cube so that it matches the couch. Move the anchor point to the upper left corner. Okay, now we need to create a pillow. Create a primitive cylinder. Copy the position of the cube and paste it on the cylinder. Adjust the cylinder scale. To make things more convenient, you can activate the wireframe mode. Okay, good. Now, in order to create the legs of the sofa, we need to generate their position. When it's done, let's create the legs. Create a cub. Hold Shift and drag the pick whip from the cube to the null object. See? Our yet-to-be leg quickly moved to the point where it should be. Now we need to make it smaller. And maybe rotate it just a little bit. Okay, now duplicate the cube and move it to where the other legs are. Duplicate again and repeat the same with the third leg. Adjust it a little bit. And don't forget to remove all the unnecessary null objects. Duplicate and create the last leg and move it to where it should be. Fine. Now group all the pieces into one composition. Activate the 3D tab and enable collapse transformations. And now for the chairs. Create a cube. Drag the anchor point to the right bottom corner and move the cube to where the chair is by copying the position of the null object and pasting it on the cube. Adjust the scale. Great, it's done. Now for another one. Create a new white solid and call it extrude. First of all, we need to mask the chair. Open the extrude tool, set extrusion depth, mark front and back, and press extrude. Copy the position of the null object and paste it on that layer. Adjust the rotation and scale. Okay, great. All there's left to do now is to finish the stairs, the stand, the TV, and the vase. Let's start with the stairs. Copy the position of the elevated floor, create a cube, and paste it on it. Adjust the scale. Now duplicate and raise it a little bit. Move the anchor point to the upper corner. Copy the anchor point position, return the anchor point to the bottom corner and paste the copied position to the object. Now drag it to where it should be. Let's arrange the layers and delete all the unnecessary ones. We'll need this one to create a stand. Create a cube. Copy the null object position and paste it. Adjust the scale. Rotate a little. And done. Now we need to generate a transparent plane from bounding box of selected objects to create a position for our TV and the vase of ours. Now do it and generate the position. Create a cylinder for our future vase. Copy the null object's position and paste it on the cylinder. Rotate a little. Adjust the scale. This one can be removed, by the way. And finally, let's create a TV. Now copy the position of the null object and paste it on the cube. Call it TV. Adjust the scale. Well done! Switch to Custom View 1 to see what we've got. Okay, all good. Keep your layers neat and organized, and delete the ones you don't need. Now we have to move the model of the first plan to the composition projection scene 1, the second plan model into projection scene 2, and so on and so forth. Cut all the models except for the floor by pressing Ctrl X and paste them into the composition projection scene 5 by pressing Ctrl V. This is the vase, so give it a proper name. This we don't need. Now this layer needs to be returned to the projection scene 6, of course. Okay, fine. Close the eyeball of projection scene 5, select projection scene 6, and press Replace Projection Image. Choose roombg.jpg. Rename projection scene 6 to BG. Let's rename all compositions. Okay, double-click on the table bottom. Select all the objects except for the table bottom, table, and sofa, and move them into the composition called All. Select the sofa and move it into composition called Sofa. Select the table and move it into composition called Table. Now let's replace those projection images. Select table bottom and click Replace Projection Image. Choose Room Table Bottom.jpg. Select the table composition, click Replace Projection Image, and choose the Room Table image. Select the sofa composition and replace the old image by choosing Room Sofa.jpg. Go to the composition BG, select all floor objects and move them into the All composition. Delete the girl composition and drag the girl walk comp to where it belongs. Okay, now let's check the result. Reduce the opacity of the table composition to make it look more like it's a glass. Very well. All objects are placed correctly. The only thing there's left to do is to mask the object so that the wide edges are not visible on the areas where the image wasn't projected. Okay, let's do it. Oops, we masked the table composition instead of the sofa comp. That's okay, just cut the mask and paste it on the sofa comp. Now, as you know, we need to animate the mask. Okay, cool. and keep masking. Okay, this one's also ready. You don't need to mask out this one since it lies in the all com, among others, but I suggest we draw a rough mask to make it visible. And keep masking. Guys, I'll fast forward the masking process because it takes a while. I think you already understand how it's done anyways, and I'm sure you won't have any trouble doing it yourselves. We still need to mask the legs. Well, it's almost ready. We only need to mask the stand and the floor we elevated. Well done. We did it, guys. We finished the project. Let's have a look at it. And here's another example. Right, well, thanks for watching. Hoping to see you next time. Have a good one.